Hello, welcome to Elena's Life. I am working in person today in Boston and I figured I would take you along. So, to start off the morning, I brush my teeth and then I do a quick stretch because everything hurts. I wonder why I feel like a zombie and jump scare. It is because my sleep score was a 69. I only slept 5 hours. After stretching, I roll my face with an ice roller and I try to convince myself that this does something. You never know though. After rolling my face out, I saw my first angel number of the day, 555, and I had one scrambled egg for breakfast. Only one egg in this economy because, you know. Um, there is some really nice scrambled egg ASMR coming up, so I will stop talking. All right, then I threw the eggs in the pan, was crossing my fingers. This would be an easy cook. I ran into the bathroom quickly and started my face. I was influenced by social media to start using the Neutrogena Collagen Bank. I love it. Ran back out because there was sizzling. I knew it would not be an easy morning with this pan making these eggs. It was because I put it in the dishwasher, even though I'm not supposed to. And yeah, there was water in the handle, so it was dripping out while I was making my eggs. And it was really, really annoying. But then I just decided, you know what? It's going to drip out of the handle. I can't do anything about it. So I just continued making my eggs and went about the rest of my routine. Okay, then I grabbed the wraps to make my burritos. Oh, that's upside down, girly. There you go. Yep, these are delish. I love these. I spread a little cheese on there, put my eggs on, melts the cheese. 10 out of 10. It's a pretty easy food to eat in the morning, especially if you can't handle a lot of flavor. Then I rolled the most mid burrito I've ever seen in my life and I went and stared at the wall and ate it. I didn't want to share the full clip. Anyways, I went and continued my face. First decision of the day was right here to wear the bronzer or not. I decided not to. I don't know if it was the right move, but I digress. Then at 6:10, I started my hair. I massaged my scalp really quickly just to try to get the oil up so it wasn't like flat. And I did the rest of my routine. My hair looks like a toddler in that shot really quickly, but thankfully I was able to comb her out. I then started my makeup. Let me tell you, I do not know what I'm doing. It, I've just, yeah, I don't even know. You know, the liquid blush is like paint. I beat the crap out of it on my hand. Then I like think I know where my cheekbones are, but I honestly have no idea. And I just put it on the places on my face that I found on a diagram on Pinterest for people who have like larger cheeks. So I think it's the right placement, but if it's not, let me know in the comments. If I need to change it up, I then put a little bit of highlighter on. I put a little bit on my eyelids as well instead of eyeshadow. Figured that'd be okay. Figured I'd put a little lip liner on in the car. Turns out I forgot to do that, but it's okay. I still look decent. Put a little eyebrow gel on. Realized that I did not tweeze my eyebrows completely last night and I definitely missed like half of it. I feel like that happens all the time. I always have to go in for round two with my eyebrows, but it's better to have to go in 2 to 3 times than, not to do your eyebrows, I guess. But I digress. Okay, once I finished eliminating my eyebrows to my face for the second time this morning, I took this immune support spray. It does taste pretty good. It's just really aggressive in the morning. So I chugged the crap out of my water after that for a hot second. All right, then it was time to finish my hair. I love these heatless socks. I love sleeping in them. They're honestly pretty comfortable. I feel like my hair looks so sleeky. They're not a perfect curl when I take them out, but that's honestly not what I'm going for, so it's okay. I put a little bit of oil on my ends. I brush it through with my fingers. I love the oil that just flashed on screen. I got a travel size of it for my birthday this past year. I'm still using the travel size. Like, that's how little you have to use to still get really good results. So then I comb it out really quickly, kind of semi look at it over my shoulder, flip my head a little bit, and then I'll comb my roots with a different comb than what I did the ends with, just to not transfer the oil, and give it a little flip. And then I have the look for the day. Pretty good. Okay, once my hair was done, I then started the electric kettle for my tea. I'm going to take it on the road with me just for a little bit of a caffeine boost because I slept 5 hours. I feel like a zombie. Once I put the kettle on, I went upstairs and got dressed. I'm super proud of myself for that transition. Like, okay, who is she? Changed the calendar and I grabbed my work bag. I had packed it the night before, so I really didn't need to do much besides just put on my jewelry. Once I got dressed, I went downstairs and finished making my tea because the kettle was ready. This is the green tea that I like drinking in the morning. I definitely recommend it. It's definitely light on the stomach, but it does what it needs to do. Once I started letting the tea steep and I started rubbing out my double chin, even though we both know it's not going to go away, I realized that I needed to start my car because I was worried that I was going to be late. So I went out and did that. Seamless transition. Looks like that took me literally 2 seconds. Grabbed my work shoes for the day, took the tea bag out. This is literally when I started to rush. I was like, oh no, I don't have any cups. Where are my to-go cups? And then I just threw it in my mini water bottle. Then I tried to just like shut down the space, put everything away, pack what I needed for the day, including like my lunch that I had tried to pack before, grab my coat, all of that good stuff. Then I packed up these coasters that I made for one of my good work friends, Steven, and his partner, Neil. Here's an example of a few other coasters that I made this holiday season for like loved ones and family members. Some of them are glued, some of them weren't, but essentially I made a coaster and I packed some up, put them in a little bag. And I also grabbed Steven's very, very belated birthday gift. Um, because I keep on forgetting to bring it to him every time I go into the city. So it was a little 2-for-1 coaster action birthday gift when I saw him later today. All right, I'm now out the door and on the road. Please enjoy the 4-point turn that I have to do to get out of my driveway. And the reason that I was so worried about getting out of the door on time and being late is because I needed to stop to get gas before heading into the city. So this is me headed to the gas station. All right, so it is finally time to head towards the city and get on the road for work. Leaving the gas station, I have about an hour and a half drive-ish without traffic ahead of me. Fingers crossed, sometimes it can get up to 2 hours if traffic's really bad. I have ADHD, so when I find a song that I really like, I listen to it on repeat. So I listened to the same songs on repeat this morning, and I figured I would give you a little list of them. So first I listened to my daily drive, and then I listened to these songs on repeat for the full hour and a half, and I am not ashamed to admit that. Yeah, please enjoy the morning drive with me. I've condensed this drive into like 8 times speed, so you don't have to sit through the whole thing. But enjoy the sunrise and springtime in Massachusetts. The trees are starting to come back. So yeah. All right, so somewhere about 10 minutes into the drive, I decided that I was going to make a pit stop to get an iced chai and a gluten-free blueberry muffin at this really cute coffee shop called Sawdust Coffee House in Sturbridge. So there was my iced chai, and I got back on the road. I still have about an hour and like 20-ish ahead of me because traffic has picked up a little bit. Here's my gluten-free muffin. It was super good, but really crumbly, so I didn't end up finishing the whole thing. But yeah, here's the rest of my morning commute. Enjoy the Massachusetts traffic. Okay, I slowed down the speed of the video a bit as I'm coming into the city because I just really love the views. The angle of my camera does not do it justice, but this is when you are driving in, you're going past the exit to Cambridge, and you're kind of coming around a corner. It's on the back side of the BU campus, and on the right, you have the campus and the buildings, and on the left, you have the river and Cambridge, and it is just so beautiful. And it's always very hectic, but this view right here makes it worth it. And as I said, the angle of this camera and also the lighting does not do it justice, but just look at that. It's beautiful. Chef's kiss. All right, and here we go. We're going to be going into the tunnels, in and out, all that fun stuff. Sometimes the tunnels can be really scary to drive through, especially recently with like news articles about it flooding and like chunks of the ceiling falling on cars. But I was listening to Revolving Door by our Queen Tate this whole time, and it just gave me the energy to get through it. And then at the end of this tunnel is the beautiful, beautiful bridge. Just admire this with me real quick. I always wanted to live in Boston growing up, and I would always think of this bridge. So to be able to drive over it on my way to the hospital is just so fun. My camera fell over here. Don't worry, I did not hit anyone. And then we go back into the tunnel and then onto the Tobin Bridge. It is currently under construction. So you see that here. I think they're repainting it / doing a little work to patch up the holes. It's a pretty old bridge, so I mean, I don't know what they're doing, but I'm pretty sure they're doing that. Anyways, I digress. Now we're off the bridge. We are going to be driving into Everett and then up the really big hill to the hospital. All right, we are arriving at hospital number 1 in Everett. Is at the top of this really big hill. And normally I don't have any issues, but today was something else. So I'll let you just experience this with me. All right, so after that quick little detour this morning, I got up to the top floor of the parking garage and parked in my favorite spot simply for this view of Boston. It is definitely one of my favorite views in the world, simply because it is just so picturesque. Then I headed into the hospital and down 4 flights of stairs to the supply chain storeroom, and just to make sure that they had all the supplies that I needed for the suction kits that I was making. Got down there, immediately realized they did not have one of the items that I needed, so I had to go back up the 4 flights of stairs to respiratory therapy and ask if they had any that I could use. And I did speed this video up, so it took me longer than this to go up those stairs. That's all I'll say. Okay, so I came back downstairs after realizing that respiratory therapy didn't have what I needed at the time, and I just started building the kits with what I had. I've been working on this project for about a year now, and I'm pretty proud of it. Essentially, they are kits that have everything that's needed in a medical emergency, and they hang on the wall in the patient room. And this is a list of what's in that kit. You can do some research if you want into these different items, but essentially, I sanitize my hands, I sanitize the surface, and then all of these items have a shelf life of 3 years. So I'll write the expiration date 3 years from today on the bag, and I will package all of them up in this interior bag. And then I will take one of those respiratory therapy bags, put it on the outside for that dual layer so they can be cleaned by housekeeping staff and they can live on the wall for up to 3 years in the patient rooms. So here is me putting them together, pulling out the items from the boxes to make it a bit easier for myself, and separating them because some stay here and some go to Cambridge. I then went back up to respiratory therapy and got humbled by the stairs, but grabbed those extra bags that I needed, wrapped everything up. I brought the kits to the floors, and then I headed out to hospital number 2 in Cambridge. It is about a 25-ish minute drive if traffic's not bad, but I left around 9:30-ish, so I was getting like the end of morning traffic, so it took me about a half an hour. This road is so annoying. I didn't hit anyone, don't worry, the camera just fell. It's a two-way, but people treat it as a one-way, even with this like street parking. So you have to kind of like dodge in and out. It's so annoying, but it's okay. I digress. I listened to these 3 songs on repeat for the next 30-minute drive, and I'll let you enjoy the traffic with me. Then I arrived to hospital number 2 in Cambridge. So pulled in, dropped off those suction kits, and then I headed to our office building, which is down the street. It's about like a 10-minute, 15-minute walk. And as a drive, it's also 15 minutes because there are lights like literally every single block. But it is a really cute little area. So enjoy my drive to the office. All right, so I arrived to the office around 10:10, and I love this spiral staircase that brings us up to the second floor. There's all these plants everywhere. I don't know if they're real or fake, but they're giving, and I feel like they just add a little bit to the space, so I don't mind. Jumped on my first team meeting. This went from about 10:15 to 11, and then around 11 o'clock, it was time to become a corporate weapon and lock in. So here is some typing ASMR for you. Please enjoy. Around 11:45, I started packing up and getting ready to walk back to hospital number 2 down the block to attend a staff symposium with Stephen. I'm really glad that I went. It was my first time going, but the stories were just so moving, and they really reaffirmed why I work in healthcare in the first place. So I packed up and got ready for that, and that lasted about an hour and a half. And then after the symposium, I drove home. I did not film that. But so I got home around 2:30, and lo and behold, the chicken is still frozen. Then at 3 o'clock, I jumped on my last team meeting of the day. It was a pretty quick one. Due to some scheduling issues, we rescheduled for next week, but we ended up staying on to chat about something that my coworker had worked on. And it was pretty cool to see what she had developed. So we discussed that, gave each other some feedback, talked about our general weekend plans, and yeah. Once the meeting wrapped up around 3:45, I headed downstairs and did a really quick cleanup. I just kind of opened the shades, fluffed up the couch, started a load of laundry. I kind of put everything away. Feel free to enjoy the cleaning ASMR that I did not expect to create, but it's kind of satisfying, so please enjoy. Okay, so after being grossed out and humbled by the stairs, I quickly checked the mail, and the package that I had been waiting like a week and a half for, after had said it had been delivered, had not come in yet. Turns out it had been delivered down the street, but I didn't know that for another few days. I then decided to rebag the bread that I had made the other day because there was some moisture in the bag and I just didn't like that. So figured I will rebag it and make some avocado toast. And while I was doing that, Robbie came home. He was on campus, so we talked about our days, and then I logged off around 4:30. And that's all. Thank you for watching.